Okay, so at this point in time, I'm decided to address this subject in honor of a man by the name of Terry Fox. Now, before I address the concept of Terry Fox, in this manner addressed, obviously, like
epic tales of strength and sacrifice. One of the greatest tales is not about a god or a mythical figure. It's the story of a man on a mission. A lone runner is on a 26-mile journey from the village of Marathon to Athens. Pheidippides, a simple peasant by birth, is on the biggest mission of his life. He is running to deliver a message of victory by the Athenians over the Persians, a victory achieved against all odds. He's on his way to deliver a message of hope. It was a marathon runner who inspired Terry. The night before his leg was amputated, just 3 days after his cancer diagnosis, Terry lay in his hospital bed reading a magazine article about the first one-legged runner to complete the New York Marathon.
I'm a very competitive type person, and I said if he could do it, I can do it too.
Terry, the kid who said he rarely remembered his dreams, had a dream that night.
Okay, so in that respect, I wish to, at this moment in time, I wish to show respect to Terry Fox in that regard, because he deserves the respect that he worked for in that marathon that he walked across Canada. Well, basically, not all the way across Canada, but he made it to Thunder Bay. Now, an interesting concept about that is I pedaled my bicycle from Sudbury, Ontario to Thunder Bay, Ontario in 15 days from July 3rd, 2018 to July 19th, 2018. And I did the last bike ride on a flat tire, believe it or not. I swear by Christ, I did the last bike ride on a flat tire from Niccabon, Ontario to Thunder Bay, Ontario, because there was no gas station or even, well, basically no bicycle shop where I could buy a spare tube. And I had run out of tubes by that point on Highway 17, which are mountains, by the way. So I just want to basically clarify a simple fact here. It's not so much the fact that Terry Fox didn't accomplish something remarkable. Of course he did. Hats off. Kudos to the man. He's awesome. Terry Fox put much effort and devotion into doing an incredible bike ride for cancer, and much respect to the man. It's like the song itself says in the Beatles. What did the Beatles say? The Beatles say, the music will never stop. Well, Terry Fox almost made it. He didn't stop. He kept going until he couldn't go any further. Nobility to that. Just like the song says. Gotcha, the news. And it's like a spinning top. Mama, she got a dime. The music will never stop. Mama, she got a dime. The music will never stop. She got a dime. The music will never stop. The music will never stop. Long as she got a dime, the music will never stop. A dime, the music will never stop. The music will never stop. Long as she got a dime, the music will never stop. The music will never stop. Dances like like a spinning top. The music will never stop. Okay, so that's the point. Terry Fox did a good job in that regard. And hats off to Terry Fox. What an incredible athlete. Noble man, noble athleticism. Nobody can argue that factor. I can't either. But I want to now point out something in a matter of, logic. Not to take anything away from Terry Fox and his nobility and how he put together such an amazing run, such an amazing marathon. Hats off to the man. More respect to the man. By the way, I want to say this before I forget. When I stayed in Thunder Bay from July 20th to July 31st, 2018, by the way, I rode directly to the Terry Fox Thunder Bay Memorial. I don't know how I did it. I just rode right there. It was about 9 p.m. And there's no doubt that was the Terry Fox Memorial. I stayed in Thunder Bay and experienced all sorts of weird stuff. Lynx actually ran right at me, and I took a picture of Lynx and chased it around a garbage bin behind the McIntyre River, actually. But, okay, let me get to the point. On July 27th, I decided that it was high time I saw the Terry Fox Memorial in broad daylight. So I said, yep, time to do that. So I rode my bicycle from the point of Terry Fox's place, I rode my bicycle to the Terry Fox Memorial where it was clearly supposed to be. I mean, it was clearly there. And how intriguing. I swear by the name of Jesus Christ, I am positive I was in the right place. I had ridden into some type of universal vortex. I am not kidding you. I rode towards people and they vanished into thin air. And the longer I sought to seek the Terry Fox Memorial, the longer this strange apparition happened. When I finally gave up on trying to find the Terry Fox Memorial, everything came back into focus. And I rode back into this dimension, this universe. I swear by Christ that happened. Now, why did that happen? What was that all about? I'm kidding nobody when I say this. This is totally the truth. Why did that happen on July 27th? It was around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I rode clearly to where the Terry Fox Memorial was supposed to be because I know I was there because I remember the intersection when I arrived in Thunder Bay. I even asked people before I got there and they said, yeah, that's the intersection. So what happened? Why was I not able to find the Terry Fox Memorial? Why did I ride into an alternate dimension? What happened there? Because I swear by Christ, it did happen. And as soon as I stopped looking for the Terry Fox Memorial, this universe reappeared. Now, that's really intriguing, okay? By way of Century 3, Quatrain 94 of the Quatrains of Nostramatus, if you want to call it that, spoken connection to 2 Peter 1, verse 19 to 21, and how humans are unaware that Nostramatus humbly spoke by the Holy Ghost in Christianity. It's connected to Century 3, Quatrain 94 of the Quatrains of Nostramatus. There's no doubt. But, okay, so my point is this. I'm going to say this right now. Hats off to Terry Fox. What a noble individual. He did an amazing run. He was an impressive runner. I have a question now, though, for the watchers of this YouTube station. On a bicycle with no money, I pedaled on a dangerous highway with no bicycle paths. And carrying a tent, carrying a sleeping bag, carrying water, with dangerous cars everywhere, weird things happening on the highway. I pedaled my bicycle from Sudbury to Thunder Bay on a dangerous highway called Highway 17, where cars didn't really show too much respect for bicycles, not too much in the way of dangers. I even rode up mountains. Mountains. Do you guys know that mountains exist in Ontario? I rode up those mountains nonstop on a mediocre bicycle. It wasn't even a bicycle that was technically built to ride across Ontario. Yet I did it anyways. for the sake of trying to show humans that it's possible to go without cars. So my point is this. Hats off to Terry Fox. Noble man. I respect that. But did Terry Fox have to do that bicycle ride with no money? Pardon me. Did Terry Fox have to do his walk without money? Pardon me. Did Terry Fox have to carry water with him continually? Did Terry Fox have to carry a tent with him continually? Did Terry Fox have to carry all those camping equipment necessities with him continually? Which I had to do because I had little money. So I'm just saying, call a spade a spade. I'm not saying Terry Fox didn't do a good job. He did an amazing job, and I praise the man for it. But you want to be literal about this matter addressed? You want to be honest and truthful? I worked harder. And I'm amazed that people don't acknowledge that people on bicycles who try to do what's right clearly can say that if they have no money. I had no money. I didn't do it on a credit card. I had no money, and I still tried to show humans that you could do it without money and without a car. I'd say that's pretty noble on my part, and nobody ever acknowledged that and said, you know what, that is true, sir, you did a good job. No one ever truly acknowledged that. So that's my point. But let's look a little bit at this video and see what exactly they're saying, because Terry Fox is a noble man. Let's look at this video and see what they're saying right away. Here we go.
Here I am. I'm ready to go. I beat it. I dream of that.
He kept his dream a secret for more than a year. If anyone asked, he told them he was preparing for the Vancouver Marathon. He trained so hard.
Now that's determination. Look what he said. He's even working out without a leg. That's pretty impressive, you know?
Remember, according to the ancient Greeks, you don't get to be a hero
any god
overnight.
could do.
Today was my first day off.
Really?
In
Come on,
101
give me a
days.
break. That's really cool on the part of Terry Fox. Clearly it is.
In that time, I ran with the flu, shin splints, bone bruises. You name it, I had it.
3 years after they found cancer in his bones, it was time to leave his home in Port Coquitlam. Greatness doesn't usually look this awkward. Someone called it a foxtrot, or a hop, skip, and a jump. Others called it a walk. But the fact is, he was a runner, a great one, pure and simple. Okay, let's face it. Canadians love the underdog. I mean, we'll rave on and on about the hockey player who stays in the game with a broken ankle and shoots and scores. But you know what? That doesn't hold a candle to my guy. Not even close. Terry once said the difference between running on 2 legs and 1 was like the difference between walking up a hill and a mountain.
So that's interesting that she would say that, because I'm going to close off this video with something very interesting that I would like my watchers to view, okay? Listen to what I'm about to say, because this is very important what I'm about to say. And when I was just a little baby, my dad took me to see the London Knights hockey. And during the year 1977, a hockey player by the name of Dino Ciccarelli recorded 72 goals and 70 assists with very little team players to play with in his rookie season for the London Knights. And what this lady just said, I'm not trying to say that she's totally wrong in what she just said. I'm just saying that it is kind of interesting. It sort of coincides. By the way, Dino Ciccarelli easily beat Wayne Gretzky in a one-on-one competition that year. Easily. It happened at the London Gardens. Check it out. It's probably, Google it. It's on YouTube. Or it's somewhere on the internet. But I'm about to tell you something very interesting. After that incredible rookie season, 72 goals and 70 assists, and he barely had anyone to play with that year. In a practice, he accidentally flew into the boards, into the net, and broke his leg in 3 places really bad. And medical doctors, at least 3 medical doctors said, Mr. Ciccarelli, Dino, you'll never play hockey again. It's too severe of an injury. You're done. Just forget about hockey. Forget, you're on one leg for the rest of your life if you try to play hockey. You're done, Dino. That's it. There's no way you can play with injuries this severe to your leg. You're done. And look what Dino Ciccarelli did in the NHL with very little hockey support. I mean, Wayne Gretzky played with guys like Mark Messier, Paul Coffey, other legends. The team was stacked to glory. Dino Ciccarelli had very little players to play with, even in the NHL, with the Minnesota North Stars and those other teams he played with. And look what Dino Ciccarelli accomplished, despite the fact that medical doctors, not just one, all the medical doctors told Dino, you'll never play again. You're done. Just get used to the fact the leg is too severely injured. What is that? What is that? He came back and he recorded 602 goals and 592 assists in an incredible career, and he had no one to play with. So always consider the fact that the human spirit is stronger than the flesh. Dino had incredible spirit to continue to play and be criticized. And one last thing I'm going to say. The following year, when Dino came back and was rehabilitated from his injury, the following year, the first game of the season, I was there, my dad took me. The London Knights fans booed Dino Ciccarelli. Now, hold on a second here, hold on. I can understand how they'd be angry with Dino if he suffered an injury in a skiing accident, or in a car, or partying, or doing anything, absurd and not in the form of hockey. But come on, people. Dino Ciccarelli broke his leg for the London Knights team in a practice. And the next year, when he was able to play hockey again after that horrible injury, the London Knights fans booed him because he let them down. Oh, you let us down, Dino. You broke your leg. It's all your fault that London didn't do good last year. You were supposed to get us out of the cellar. You bad hockey player. That's how nuts hockey fans are sometimes. So people have to note that. But you know what? In honor of Terry Fox and Dino Ciccarelli, let's do this one more time. Mama, she got a dime. The music will never stop. Time to go drinking. That's what I say. Rhythm and blues. Woo!